All right. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate our men's soccer team. Uh, just off to a great postseason here, and our I guess our women's soccer team as well, and going to the tournament. And men's basketball's won 2 in a row, so we got a lot of good things going on, and women's basketball playing tonight. So lot of stuff happening this time of year in Clemson athletics. So it's pretty cool. In fact, and Tim, you're sitting here, but don't they have how many goals does Clemson soccer have? 63 goals. We have 61 touchdowns. So both football teams are scoring some points. So Noonan and the boys are getting it done. Excited to see them hopefully make a great run here in the postseason. But I tell you, this is a great week. It's a fun week. But it's a little bit sad, too, every year, because, again, I love home games. And there's just nothing better to me than being in the season and just the challenge every week and being with the team. And it's just nothing like a game day in the Valley. And Tiger Walk and all that comes with the preparation of game day. And it's kind of sad because we're kind of nearing the end of our season and last home game, so always a little sad there. And then last time to see some great football players have a chance to play in the Valley and run down the hill. So it's a special week, and again, something that we put a lot of effort into and honoring our seniors all week long, and all those guys will be captains, and all the way up to game time, we try to make it a special week for those guys. But it's also, a little bittersweet there, just because that it's the last time you're going to see a lot of these guys play in the Valley. And we'll probably have a few juniors, too, that'll be playing their last game. So it's a tough week from that standpoint, but I'm happy for them. I'm excited about seeing our team one last time here at home. I know it's going to be a great crowd here to support them. Wake Forest is a tough team. They're, have had a heck of a season, coming off a tough loss up at Virginia Tech, 7-2. I feel like I know more about Wake Forest than any team we've played all year, because I've been looking at them for a month, basically, or longer, both sides of the ball, because we just have had a lot of common opponents with North Carolina and Louisville and Boston College and NC State. So I've just seen them a bunch. And they're just very impressive with what they do. Very unbelievably well coached. I think well coached would be an understatement. They do an awesome job offensively and defensively with their scheme and giving their guys a chance to be successful. Defensively, they're disciplined. They don't make a lot of mistakes. They cover well. They're an under front, mix their coverage as well, do a good job disguising. They will press you some. They're not like the team we played last week, but they will pick their spots. But well coached. Impressive up front. Their number 9 there, coming off the edge is a heck of a defensive end. They're 290-ish inside, so they're not as big as maybe some of the guys that we've seen. But they're never in one place. They're always moving. So catching movement and being able to block these guys and counter that is going to be critical. Do a great job in the secondary. So, again, just very well coached. They've created a lot of turnovers as well. We're +9 in the turnover margin. They're +7. So they've done a really good job. I think they've won some close games, and that's been the difference in a couple of those games. So do a good job. Getting their hands on balls and again, just being disruptive on defense. And then offensively, everything starts with this quarterback. He is a really good player. He's a pro, no doubt about it. He is big. He's accurate. He's a physical runner. He's 6'4", 230 pounds, and can make all the throws. But he's blessed to have some great wideouts. This is probably the best group of receivers that we've played. Big. 7 and 14 are really big, big-bodied guys that use their body well. They're great, on the ball guys. As far as finishing, they play with length And I got a lot of times guys hanging on them and they still make the catch. And then number 2 is the most elusive. He's a very good route runner. He creates separation. As good as anybody we've played. He used to play quarterback for them. He's a really good player. So their group of receivers are really talented. And, you watch the tape, and you're like, well, that's not going to be complete. And then it's complete because the quarterback is very accurate, and these guys finish on the ball. And then the tight end's a very good player. So they've got a really good group. They're kind of similar to us in that they have a very good quarterback. They've got a really good offensive line that's very well coached. They're physical. They get after you. They have an identity and a scheme that they believe in and really understand how to run it. They've got excellent skill on the outside, and then they got some backs that just pound you. And if you don't tackle with physicality, 2-yard runs become 6-yard runs with this group. So, and they play all 3 of them. All 3 of them have similar numbers. Do a heck of a job, but very impressed with their offensive line. And so, this will be a big challenge for us. And we knew for a while. I've been having this one in my mind for a while because again I've been watching them for 4 different opponents. And so I've just seen them a lot on both sides. And then obviously, studying the Virginia Tech game, I've known that this is going to be a big one and a big challenge for us coming in. And especially, I think, the way the game went last year. I don't think they were real pleased with maybe how they played last year. And I'm sure that'll be, something for them coming in to try to play a little better. And but for us, it's just about sending these seniors out with a win and getting an 11th win and, closing up Death Valley in a really positive way for the year and continuing to build momentum in our postseason.
Coach, with Alabama's loss, you now have the longest active home win streak. How cool is it for these seniors to be able to set a new school record for home wins in a row?
It would be awesome. I mean, it's just this group, they kind of are making history every week. It seems like there's something, big happening each week. Obviously, this past week to win the division for the 5th time and to get to 10-0 for only the 5th time ever and 10th win. Those are lots of things. The seniors got a chance to get a 52nd win in their career, and but to get a 22nd home win, which would set a school record. I mean, that's it's awesome. It's awesome when you got opportunity like that to go and shoot for. And then last week, just with some of the things that have happened offensively and defensively. I mean, this bunch on defense, so I think it's 13 games they've given up 20 points or less, and that goes all the way back to 1958, Frank Howard. The offense was a little different back in 1958. There wasn't a lot of points being scored, but it's amazing. It's amazing what these guys have been able to do, and so they take pride in that. They've had 10 games in a row of less than 300. I think that ties Alabama from 2011. So there's just a lot out there. Travis Etienne, he's tied the school record for 100-yard games, or five in a row, and Trevor. I mean, there's just a lot of these guys have put up some historic type numbers. So those are great things and fun things that kind of challenges within the challenge, if you will. But I think the consistency at home is something that we take a lot of pride in, and that'd be a really cool thing to be able to accomplish.
Dabo, what's the difference in this year's Wake team versus last year's, other than Newman, the quarterback, being in the game?
Yeah, they're just a little more experienced. I think that they. It was one of the things that Dave told me after our game last year. It was kind of a weird deal. He thanked me. He said it was the best thing that happened to us. He said because it made us better. And I think they won maybe 5 in a row after us or something. I know they went on a winning streak after our game last year. He just felt like it kind of got some guys focused the way they needed to be, and they were able to get better from it. But they're just playing with great discipline. They don't beat themselves. I mean, again, they're one of the best in the country on turnovers. They're almost 50% on third down. What they're doing on offense, that quarterback And that very, very experienced offensive line, guys that have a lot of cohesion, backs know what they're doing, and those guys outside are playmakers. I mean, you got guys going to play on Sunday. Tight end is a very good player as well, and so I just think that they believe in what they're doing. They've been able to stay relatively healthy. I think that's a key. Although they got one of their best players out at linebacker this week, but they've been pretty healthy and again just well coached.
When was it that he thanked you after that?
It was like I can't remember if it was at the spring meetings or somewhere else where I saw him. I can't remember, but yeah, kind of looked at him, but he was disappointed, and I think it was a kind of a wake up to their team and just kind of got them refocused on the things that they need to do to win games, and they did. They went on, and I think they really responded and had a really good year. So.
How much did it look like they missed Washington against Virginia Tech? He didn't play that.
Oh yeah. He's 7. He's a really good player. He's big. I mean, he's a very good player. 7, 14, and 2 are, like I said, as a group, they're as good as we've played. And again, really understand what they're doing, finish on balls. 14 he's a great player. That guy's got I don't know how fast he is, but he catches everything. I mean, he just comes down with every single ball, and he's got a great knack for just body position and high pointing balls, and he plays long. He's got a great catch radius, so I just think he's got a really good group. But yeah, I mean, he's a huge loss for him, big time. So I mean, I'm sure he'll be back. We'll see.
Sorry about that. If you guys are fortunate to get a comfortable lead on Saturday, are you conscious of something like Etienne's record? Like maybe he has 93 yards and he's out of the game. Are you aware of, let's throw him back out there and get him a couple more carries?
If it's something like that happens, it usually comes from Ross or Tim Beret. They usually will go over to the box and tell somebody in the box and say, hey, Travis needs 5 yards, for 100 yards. And so I'm not conscious of it unless somebody tells me. And it doesn't happen often, but there have been times where we've had that happen. A guy, hey, he's got, 96 yards or whatever. And all right, well, let's get him in there and then get him back out.
Tony was telling us how the jumbo package has kind of been your baby for however many years. What's the inception of when and how you architected that?
Well, I mean, that's just kind of what I played in, first of all. We were jumbo package every snap when I was playing. So, I just think it's a little different style in today's world, but also when you're coaching Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence and those guys, and you just look over there and you go, geez, and I got a tight end who's 230 who does a great job. But, I mean, you just need like one dirty yard, or 2 just dirty yards where it's just not going to be perfect. But, you just want to get some guys smashing into each other. And so I just wanted to take advantage of the personnel that we had and just how athletic those guys were. So that's where it came from. So I just started toying with it a little bit, and we had a lot of fun with those guys. They did a great job. I mean, took a lot of pride in it. So we've got kind of figuring out who was going to be this year, and we've got some similar athletic, talented guys that kind of growing into it. And then, as far as John, that just came about because Xavier got hurt. And so, he hasn't had as much opportunity, but he got hurt and been out for 3 games. So we just wanted to be able to get in the I formation and just run over somebody for a yard. And that's, I think he got hit at about the 3-yard line and just kind of drugged that guy into the end zone. We didn't block it right, first of all, but anyway, big guys usually beat little guys, and that's what happened on that play. So just something that we've had fun with and have had some success. That's the other thing. I mean, it's just one thing to do something; it's another thing to be successful at it. So we've had a lot of positive plays from our heavy package, fridge package, freezer package, depending on who our personnel have been.
We were talking to John after the game, and he was just super excited about scoring his first ever touchdown. So, do you remember the first time you ever scored your first touchdown?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started playing in the 5th grade, so I was quarterback, and I started out at running back, and that lasted about 2 games, and they moved me to quarterback, and I was a quarterback until I went to high school. But so, yeah, I remember youth league, scoring first touchdown. Thought it was the coolest thing ever, all the way up through high school. Unfortunately, I didn't get one in college. I got tackled at the 1. Really, literally, the inch line. I was such an unselfish player. Yeah, it was special. A lot of high school touchdowns, and those were always great moments anytime you get in the end zone. That was cool for John because he said he'd never in his entire life scored a touchdown. Always the big guy, always on the line. And, of course, his high school coach, Coach Pratt, he texted me this week saying, John, people are starting to question his coaching now, that John, Big John, in fact, we did a video. We do a video Monday, so y'all saying, Big John. Y'all know that song? Big John. We had a little Big John video yesterday. It was awesome.
So you guys do have a million linemen who are so big and so fast and so athletic. How do you actually choose, okay, you are getting a shot at jumbo? How do you decide?
Oh, it's not hard. It's not hard. I didn't want to mess with Jackson. I like him where he is, and I felt like Backhorse coming in there, we'd be just fine, and so just kind of was the easiest. He was the easiest choice, and a senior, and 330-ish pounds. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Speaking of your college career, has Will mentioned that he's now the all-time?
No, but Tim Bray likes to mention that to me often. So I'm happy for him. He's done well. He's done well.
John was so elated after scoring that touchdown, and even going back to the preseason when he wore the Trevor wig, and he's always smiling when he talks to us. Could you give us a little insight into John off the field? It seems like he's one of those guys that's really enjoying every single step of the journey.
He is. He's been a joy all 4 years. I mean, just a great family, great young man, excellent student. About to graduate, and just has been just a joy to be with every day. Never one problem. Came in here and has just gone to work and has really developed into a great football player. But he's got a big personality. He's funny. He loves to laugh. He's a great teammate. He is a really, really good teammate. Everybody on this team loves John Simpson. And so I'm just really proud of him, his maturity, and then what he's been able to do as a football player. The game has slowed down. I mean, he's a very, very physical player and got a really bright future. He's what you're looking for.
Coach, Avon Wallace